Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Hi, and welcome to the Gayla Scrivener Show. I am so glad that you're here. Now, you're in the right place if you are starting to freelance or creating your own solopreneur business and are looking to find freedom to work from practically anywhere. Now, working from practically anywhere does have its challenges, let me tell you. Things happen like equipment malfunction or internet connectivity issues, and you have to learn to be flexible. To me, it's a fantastic way to problem solve, and not always am I pleased having to problem solve when things don't go as planned, but it certainly is a good exercise. Now, traveling around, we have had things like accidentally dropping a gradient filter from our camera gear over the ledge around Niagara Falls. We could see it just right over there. We could almost reach it, but it was just a bit too far away to safely retrieve it. Man, we were bummed. And it's a piece of equipment that Robert, my husband, likes to use in his photography. He had to improvise and do without until it was replaced. And we have lost or broken other things within our travels, and we have to just be flexible with our schedule when it comes to internet connectivity. And because we're on the go quite a bit, sometimes we simply flat out forget things. Like for this podcast episode, for example, I had to improvise in what equipment I'm using for recording this episode. You see, I had set aside time in my schedule to record this episode this very day, and we aren't at our home base. We have an organized case for our travels that has all of our recording equipment. It has our Zoom H6, it has our mics, our headphones, our cords, all of that. And the case was all packed, ready to go, even by the door. But in our rush to leave our home base, our RV, for the next several days to travel, the case was left behind. And I can picture it right there by the door, handle up and ready to go. We didn't even realize that we had forgotten it until we arrived at our destination. Now, what I could have done was just wait and use my regular equipment when we return to the RV. But the thing is, I've already set this time aside to record. And if I don't do it today, I will feel really behind. Actually, I will be behind because I have this other time set in the future. It's another block of time to do something else. So if I were to record this in the future, I'd have to give up something else on my schedule. Honestly, it would be super easy to procrastinate and put off the recording and just make up the excuse that I can't do it because I don't have my equipment. But you know what? I decided to do it anyway, today, no matter what. Instead of using the equipment that I'm used to and comfortable with, I'm simply using the voice recorder app that's already on my phone and my headset. Now, my headset is even a wired headset, not Bluetooth, because that's what I happen to have on hand. I'm using the headset to try to reduce the background noise as much as possible. So I don't even know if you're going to hear my dogs bark or any echoing or whatever. I texted a snippet of a recording from my phone to Robert, and he is the podcast editor of this show, and he's the podcast editor of all the shows that we produce through Scrivener Solutions. And he gave me the thumbs up that the audio quality was good, so I'm going with it. And that is just a little mindset shift on my part that I don't have to use the exact equipment that I'm accustomed to. It feels a little weird because you get into a habit of thinking this is what I have to use, this is what I have to do, but I can get the job done with some adjustments and trying other tools that I have on hand. And so it's just the problem solving and the mindset. And talking about mindset, the definition of mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. We fill our minds with either limiting beliefs of what we can't do, or we open our minds for the possibilities and opportunities that are before us. We have a mindset and an established set of attitudes about practically everything, big or small. Today, I thought I'd share my perspective, my mindset, if you will, when it comes to social media and growing your business. Now, I've had many discussions with either VA clients through Scrivener Solutions or as I coach solopreneurs in creating systems and scaling their business. And it seems like folks fall in one of these categories about their mindset when it comes to social media. First, I've come across folks that just hate it. Just flat out hate social media. They don't want to be on any social platform. They feel like it's a time sucker, and they don't even want to have social accounts, but they feel like they have to. So it's a real big bother for them. Then I have folks that like social media. It's entertainment, and it's a form of keeping up with news from friends and family. And basically, they are on it all the time, and they are engrossed in social media. Or the third kind of category that I see is the person is just plain overwhelmed by the whole social media thing. They feel like they aren't tech savvy enough to do anything on it, so they avoid logging in or using their social accounts altogether. Heck, someone else typically had set up their business Facebook account or any other social account for that matter. They set it up for them and they never actively use it. And typically those accounts were set up to be just links on their website. I believe that there is a lot of hype and undue stress when it comes to social media marketing. We need to remember that the root of what social media actually is, it's not a really big deal at all, if you think about it. It's simply a communication tool. It's simply a means, an avenue, a way to communicate with others. No hype, no stress needed when you remember this simple truth. It's a communication avenue. If it's a communication tool, it would stand to reason that we should use that type of communication to become closer and stay connected to friends, family, and potential customers. Now, even if you aren't one that really likes that avenue of communication, it's still a great tool for any business to use because it opens up an opportunity, a communication path with potential customers to grow your business. I often say to my coaching clients that building an online platform to scale their business means scaling their communication. And sometimes my clients kind of look at me with their head cocked a little bit and saying, scaling communication, what the heck do you mean by that? Well, it's a matter of how we talk to folks consistently. Having the opportunity to talk to a group of folks all at the same time instead of always depending on one-on-one conversations. It's a bridge, if you will. Social media is broadcast communication. That's it. You can't expect that everyone who likes your page or your personal profile will see every single post that you have posted and will act on it. You're not the only one who's busy. Every one of us is bombarded by thousands and thousands of messages and bits of information every single day. And you shouldn't take offense that everyone doesn't respond or even see your posts. However, this shouldn't discourage you from even using social media when it comes to building your platform and growing your business. I believe that social media is one of the core elements, one of the foundational pieces in building your platform. Seen for what social media really is, it's a communication tool, a communication avenue. There is a ton of hype and self-induced stress when it comes to social media marketing. Sure, there are strategies that could be implemented, data that can be collected, and analysis to do so that our communication efforts are more effective. But let's take a breath, shall we? Let's just remember that social media is just one piece of a whole content marketing plan. Let's just keep it simple. It's a tool that is used to be able to convey your beliefs, philosophies, ideas, and yes, your offerings through micro messaging. Just little tidbits at a time. Not your whole life story at once, but little tidbits. Repetition. It creates your story and your branding online. The effectiveness of your social media presence starts with consistent posts. Now, you've heard me say over and over, because maybe I'm consistent about it, I don't know, but consistency matters, and it really does. Now, it's my belief that when we're first starting out building our platforms, we should be the ones who should be managing our social media accounts, our social media posts, before even handing it over to someone else to do. Now, how long you should be doing your own social posts is up to you as an individual. But the reason I suggest doing it yourself at first helps you create a system. It helps you craft messages, and you're better able to manage the process when you're ready to delegate. One of my coaching clients told me that she had paid someone $175 a month for 3 months for the social media management of her business and didn't get one client from it. I told her her perception of what social media is was just all wrong. She's one who, at the time, rarely ever logged into her social accounts. She wasn't really even sure, what account she had or even how to use the accounts. She didn't have an idea of who she was talking to and what she wanted to say. So when she was ready to delegate, it was just kind of just a free-for-all, basically. She left it up to who she delegated her social media post to just figure it out. Well, it's still up to you, the one that delegates the task, to analyze and make adjustments to the strategy if necessary. It's your business. You are in control of that. Don't delegate the control of your business. Just delegate the tasks. And 3 months work and then abandon the avenue altogether really isn't a solution. When you delegate tasks without clear direction and a good communication path and making adjustments along the way, of course your efforts aren't very effective. Depending on your comfort level with technology and where you're at in your business, I believe that a very easy thing to get started with, has one of the lowest cost points, is creating consistent content on one social media platform. And do it yourself at first. Get into the habit of consistently posting on your favorite social platform, even before your website is built. A lot of folks start something and they have an idea and they want to get started on maybe a personal brand or whatever, and they don't have their website going or their blog. Well, an easy entry point is social media posts and being consistent with it. Carve out time once a week to sit down at your computer and create one post a day for the upcoming week. One post a day. That's only 5 posts if you prefer to have posts only Monday through Friday, or just 7 posts if you include the weekends. That doesn't sound too intimidating, does it? One of the key traits of a successful entrepreneur is discipline. Viewing your social media communication as a system and breaking it down and creating a habit of consistent posts helps with creating the system you need in your business, and you practice the trait of discipline. And like I said, schedule the time. Put it on your calendar as an appointment for yourself, and don't miss it. Plan out your messages for the entire week. Simple messages, like a quote, share an image, a selfie, a thought. Don't complicate things. Start out by sharing things like other posts or articles, videos, podcasts, thoughts, pieces of art, crafts, whatever inspires and motivates you. Again, don't complicate things. Just at first commit to sitting down once a week and creating posts for the upcoming week. 5 to 7 posts. That's it. One social platform. That's it. You're creating a habit. You're creating a discipline. You're creating a process. You're breaking things down so it's not so intimidating. And with this consistency, you will gain perspective and clarity. Your communication will get better. In your once a week carved out time to create posts, you're also going to schedule these posts. Once they are scheduled to publish on a particular day in the future at a particular time, you basically can forget about it for the rest of the week. Yep, just do it in your block time, schedule it out in the future, and don't worry about it until your next appointment with yourself. Too many of my clients don't realize that they can schedule posts in the future, and instead they are fretting each and every day, what should I post today? And they get too busy because of the day-to-day operations, and then they end up not posting something, then they feel guilty about it, and then they abandon the effort altogether. Block your time. Do 5 to 7 posts all at once. You should be able to do that within an hour. Depending on your technology skills, it may take you at first a little longer, but you will get better and you will get faster. If you choose Facebook, you know you can schedule your posts on your business page ahead of time right in Facebook. In fact, I recommend that you do it right in Facebook instead of using a third-party platform to schedule your posts for Facebook. If you're not sure how to schedule your Facebook posts, I invite you to hop over to the show notes as I have a link to an Accomplish More video showing you exactly how to schedule your Facebook business page posts. If your one social media platform of preference is something like Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or something else, I suggest using a third-party scheduling tool like Buffer or Hootsuite. Or if you really like Instagram, my choice of scheduling tools is Planoly. All the links are in the show notes if you need a quick link, but the tool really doesn't matter. Just choose one of them. Whatever works for you. For example, Buffer and Hootsuite, to me, they're basically the same thing, but I kind of like the screens in Buffer better than I do in Hootsuite. And it's just a personal preference. So the tool doesn't matter. It's the function and the discipline in using the tool. All 3 tools that I mentioned, Buffer, Hootsuite, and Planoly, all have free versions that work well when you're starting out. The main point here is creating a system where you gain consistency and not take up a ton of your valuable time on a daily basis. There's no need to feel bad because you didn't post something today. Just get into the habit of posting consistently to learn this valuable communication tool that you can learn for your business. Social media management is often the easiest and most cost-effective task to delegate. That's usually one of the first things our Scrivener Solutions clients ask for. They come in as delegating to a virtual assistant, and the easiest task to get to know our team is social media management. But our clients who have been doing it on their own, doing their own social posts for a while before delegating, they are the ones who seem to make better headway in their business growth. They use the time in doing their own social post to figure out the voice of their business. They figured out who their ideal client is, and they figured out even what they wanted to offer. Because sometimes at first you just don't know. You kind of have an idea, but over time, by doing the social posts on a consistent basis, you gain clarity. By the time the task is delegated to a VA, all they're doing is picking up a system that's already been created and keeping up with the messaging and consistency. When you delegate to a VA, your focus then shifts on maybe engagement on the social channels, adding a social channel, spending time with clients, and working on other content. For me, I posted my own social for a few months for Scrivener Solutions, way back several years ago. And then I brought on Sharon to the team. She at first was an assistant just for me. And now she does social media for LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook for many of our clients. But when I was doing it myself, I sat down once a week and had a plan of what kind of posts. And I had Sharon pick up that plan. I think we had one post a day on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And I had specific requirements at first of a certain kind of post on Monday, like maybe a quote, sharing an article on Tuesday, and so on. I had specific requirements, and we had a system going. At first, I looked at her posts more closely until she got to know me and she figured out my voice and she knew how to represent me the best. Over time, we've made some changes in what we post and when and the frequency. We take a look at things and make modifications and we work together. And I don't have to worry about the details of the actual posts. But what I'm doing is actually analyzing and bringing up questions and trying new things and leaving the details to Sharon to do. And I don't have to worry about using my brain power to think about what to say on these micro messages. Instead, I'm managing the process, analyzing and making decisions on the direction and strategy. And that's what a business owner should be doing. At first, though, you may not be ready to delegate the task. You may still be in the figuring things out phase. You may not have this discipline in creating the process yet. Now, as far as social media goes, I honestly don't like to be in it all the time. And that's me. I'm one of the persons, it's not that I hate it. I'm not in that category. But I don't necessarily want to be in it all the time. I view it very much like TV in such that it can be a time sucker. And so for me personally, in my productivity practices, I'm not in it all the time. For the most part, notifications are turned off and I only go into a social platform on my schedule instead of being interrupted with a notification that somebody liked or shared or anything like that. I don't even have the Facebook app loaded to my phone. I don't even have LinkedIn loaded on my phone. I think I have Instagram and that's it. And maybe Facebook Messenger. I also prefer some platforms over others. For example, I'm not too jazzed in getting into Facebook. Just over time, maybe I'm just bored with it or I just don't like the platform as much. I don't know. It's just a personal preference. That's not to say that I don't ever get in there and I don't use it as a communication tool, but it's not like I live to be in it. Now, I like Instagram better, and if I'm going to do a random post when I'm out and about, I usually do it on Instagram. And I have no reason of liking one platform over the other except just personal preference. So you need to kind of go with your personal preference. And if you don't have a personal preference, just pick one and learn it. That's my advice. Simply to get a handle on how you want to use it as a communication tool in your business. Is it LinkedIn because you're more businessy? Is it Instagram because you're more creative? Is it Facebook because everybody you know is on Facebook? It doesn't matter which one. Just use it for yourself for a period of time before delegating the task. Whether that period of time is a few weeks, a few months, or even a few years, that's going to be up to you. You're creating your process. You're learning to use it consistently. You're learning from the communication from others, and you're learning to communicate better. Now, are you posting on social consistently yet? If not, then make the decision right now of when your block time is going to be to post the next week's schedule. If you are posting consistently on social, is it time to step things up in your business and delegate the task so that you are free to focus on other things and growing your business? Do you really need to be doing that when you can be stepping up and concentrating on something else? I totally understand that sometimes sitting down at a blank screen and figuring out what you want to post can be quite overwhelming. And if you're doing it for a long time, sometimes you feel so out of ideas. So that's why I invite you to download 48 social media post ideas by going to GaylaScrivener.com/social ideas. You'll get a checklist of 48 ideas to help you get your creative juices flowing on what to post. 48 ideas. That can be 48 days of posts. And then you can start all over again at the top of the list and just keep on going. Remember, don't let social media marketing overwhelm you. Take a deep breath. Start small. Be consistent on one platform. Create a system of discipline in doing the process. The whole root of it is just a form of communication. And you learn from the experience. You learn by doing. Now, I appreciate you being here today, and be sure to download the 48 social media posts by going to GaylaScrivener.com/social ideas. And the link is in the show notes. Until next time, have a fantastic week.